Hello to all my wonderful subscribers, devoted students and disciples. This is your Master GongSun. So today I thought I would take a break from what I normally talk about, which are the Taoist texts, and I would start a new series called Taoist Advice. And for this first inaugural episode, I want to discuss something very practical. Often I am asked, what should I do with my life? Sometimes my students would ask me, how can I find my true passion? Well, first you have to understand that the point of life is to experience things in order to perfect our souls. Our souls must learn and grow. And we want to be more like the Tao, or any of the wonderful manifestations of the Tao, such as the very nice immortal lady behind me. Her name is Ren, a realized person, kind of like the Taoist equivalent of the Buddhist goddess of mercy, or Guanyin Pusa. So we want to be more like them in order to advance to a higher spiritual level. We want to be spiritually developed because it feels good. I mean, given the option, would you rather be surrounded by people who are kind and compassionate, thoughtful and caring? Or would you rather be surrounded by those who are greedy and selfish, spiteful and petty, insulting and devoid of virtue? I mean, I know that I would much rather be surrounded by loving people rather than those who are hateful and spiteful. Anyway, so then we have to ask ourselves, so that's step one, right? You have to remember why we're here, what we're doing here in the first place. And then after, you got to ask yourself, well, what are my talents? What are my skills? What am I best at? And we all have something we're good at. I mean, in the past, I wanted to be a novelist. I no longer want to do that. I wanted to be a storyteller. And I still am telling a story, but now it's the story of the Tao and how wonderful it is and how it can affect us positively and make such wonderful changes in our lives. But I wasn't good at storytelling at the beginning. I had to work hard at it. I was not naturally gifted at it. Right, so you got to ask yourself, what are you good at? But that may not necessarily be what you are passionate about either. So a better question would be, what am I interested in, and am I willing to put in the effort to get better at it? Now, for some of us, there was always something that we were good at and interested in. So you're both good at it and interested in it since childhood. So it could be anything from a love of animals, right, to a desire to help people, right? So you gotta think back to your childhood. What were you good at that time, and what were you interested in at that time? And let's see if they match. And I'll give you an example from my life. How I became a Taoist priest is that I was always curious about the supernatural, but it wasn't until my 35th year on this material plane of existence that I had a supernatural encounter. And then as a result, I became very curious, even more so than before, about the supernatural, to the point where I learned everything I could about Taoism from my master. I joined a special sect or a branch of Taoism, the Zhengyi branch, and even within that, it's the Maosan Pai, the Maosan branch, which is known for dealing with the supernatural and Taoist magic. And then everything else after that it was history. But it took me a good 35 years to get here. I'm 38 now. It took me a while. But life is a journey, and it's about exploring. But it's important to hit certain milestones along the way, such as once you've decided on something, we keep on going. We keep on getting better at it. And so that's what you should do. Think back to your past. What were you good at? What were you interested in? If there is nothing, then you have to continue to explore. If there was nothing in particular that you were good in as a kid or as a teenager, then you got to keep trying new things to see what sticks. That would be my life advice on how to find your passion. And even after that, they may not, just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you'll make plenty of money at it. But then again, we can't really measure our success at something in monetary value. What's more important, I would say, is how satisfied you are with your career, right? I mean, as long as you're making enough to take care of yourself and your family, that should be good enough, right? So I believe success should be measured in, number one, how you're feeling about your career, and so that includes things like how satisfied you are, and number two, how much is it your passion? I mean, if it is, you would probably do it for nothing. So the old adage, find what you love and the money will come, that can happen, but it really depends on what it is that you love. Some professions, of course, are better paid, right? Much better paid than others. But I'm not in this for the money. There's not much money to be made in Taoism. I mean, I just want to make enough to support my endeavors, start a charitable foundation to help the less fortunate, and then hopefully that will allow me to pass from this physical plane of existence as an immortal. I mean, I would love to come back. Not to reincarnate, that I don't want to do anymore. I've been here several 100,000 lifetimes. I've seen and heard enough. It's enough, actually. I came out one last time, probably to learn how to love. That's probably what it is. And I think I did already. So I'm pretty much done at this point. Just going to continue to teach and spread the Tao to everyone. And hopefully that, along with being virtuous, doing charitable works, that will allow me to transcend, to become an immortal. And that way I can come back and help people instead of being human again. All right, this has been your Master GongSun, and some food for thought there. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you guys next time in my new Life Advice series. Thank you for listening.